Hello guys, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back again for the Mythic Showdown season number 2. And as we have started with the qualifiers round, we are now reaching the wildcard stages where 4 teams will be able to participate into the main stage. So there we have 2 teams that's going to be playing today in the best of 1 series. A sleep tight lineup will be going against Yama Esports, and sleep tight lineup, I think you might be already familiar with them because they have made their way into the wildcard round by playing the qualifiers and even earning their spots. So they have come a long way. So it's going to be very interesting that they'll be able to fight for more wars and battles to reach the main stages. So here we're going to be bringing you the best of 1 series. This is going to be interesting one at that too, because Yama Esports, they are not less. They have been out there for a long while with differences of in the lineups as well. They have been there too, but I feel like sleep tight lineup is actually ready. So Baldudu and me will be bringing you the voices here today. So how you feeling, man? Okay, I think he got an issue as well. Oh, are you back, Baldudu?
No. I'm back.
Okay.
So yeah. I don't know. Yep, I'm back. So with the first game being Yama versus Sleep Tight, I think these are two very strong elite teams. I mean, there's a reason that these teams have made it till this wildcard stage. So I'm quite curious to see how it plays out because each team right now in this day one of wildcard is going to be playing at least 2 games. I think everyone except C3 for today. No, even
Yeah.
C3. So all these teams are going to be playing 2 games, but it's never against the same opponent. And
Mm,
since it's a best of one, any mistakes you make are going to be a lot more expensive because you're not going to get a chance to redeem yourself against that opponent.
that's what. The most wins that you have, the better it is gonna be for you. 8 teams, imagine. You're gonna be fighting against each other in this pool. 8 teams, and only 4 will be able to qualify for the main stages. So, like you said, best of 1 series, Baldudu, and it's gonna be very crucial because most of the time, if you watch those series and all, best of threes, best of fives, best of sevens, they have ways to try to tread the waters. But in this best of 1 series, it's more random than ever because you don't really know how you are going to be bringing a different kind of strategy because you don't know what you'll be getting in the best of 1. There's no way to climb back, and in these current patches and the change up in the metas, come back from a early go lead is definitely not something that you usually see, right?
Yep.
Because most
And
maps have been nerfed. So yeah, we'll see how they'll be doing.
Yep, I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how these teams will face off against each other. And considering we have a new patch within this last week, the Nathan has been nerfed down. So I feel we're going to be seeing a lot more of this double fighter comps. Maybe Alice might make a comeback in the jungle again with the new change to how Dormice, Guardian, and Chastise and Pauldron work. So
Mm.
I think all these fighters with the equipment revamp can stay in these fights for a lot more time. It's a lot harder to actually melt them down. I don't think Trinity marksmen, no matter how good they are, they're going to be really that useful in the first 10 minutes of the game because of how annoying they are to deal with. Simply because of how annoying the fighter comp is right now. You could ban out 8 fighters and you still have 2 strong ones left that will make life hell for you.
Mhm. This is exactly why it's a brawl server now, and it's a brawl meta too. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of fighters that's gonna be staying in the metas, and the longer you last in the team fights, the more it's beneficial for you. And like we already said, best of 1 series, and it's just one chance for better teams to try to show their potential, and we are gonna be seeing how they'll be able to perform because both the teams are equally well versed in the meta right now. And I also think that they might eventually have a chance to even things out too. Maybe we'll see a marksman, but not all the marksmen are quite into popularity. It's more of a tank into the not tank, a fighter into the goal too. So early game goal lead or the first hurdle or the sayer of how the game goes.
Yep. So, like, I'm really curious. I think right now in this current meta, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the turtles are playing such a significant, role in how these team fights and how the result of these games go. Because I've seen within the first one or two turtles, any kills you take, whether you take kills or not, you kind of have the full control of the tempo of the game. Because marksmen, like since you're not playing marksmen, you're playing fighters, and fighters require XP to scale rather than your items usually. Even if they are, ability based fighters rather than basic attack ones, you still are
Mhm.
scaling from the stats you get from leveling up. So every turtle is a huge chunk of experience and a power scaling for these fighters, and they're able to capitalize it on fights. So despite some teams having heroes like Gato Touch who are so good at zoning, the fact that simply by taking one turtle you kind of nullify how useful that Gato is, because everyone is running War Axe at this point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. War has been popularity too. But hey, it's gonna be very interesting now that we are gonna be going into the drafting phase here. Yama Esports will be going against Sleep Tight lineup best of one series, and we have the lineups already. Sleep Tight lineup will be under the first pick, and Yama Esports will be having the second picks. And we have already seen the bans coming through from both of the teams. Gatot, Bashia, Kalea, all roamer possibility, and jungle also gone, removed by Sleep Tight lineup.
Yep. And okay, so that Alice ban is quite interesting because they chose to take out the Alice instead of the CC. Yama is
Mhm.
kind of, I feel Yama is confident in dealing with that CC in their opponent,
Yeah.
because we know how much of a lane bully the CC is. So they have given away the Kimi and the CC, which is two really strong picks, and they've traded it out for that Fred and the Arlott. So it is, Arlo does do decent against CC in lane, but there's a high chance that CC is going into the gold lane. So Yama
Mhm.
Esports needs to take something in the gold that can handle that lane bullying and also be equally present in team fights, because CC with her passive is able to like walk in and out of the map very quick. And despite the nerf on her stack duration, I think she's still very annoying to deal with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even with the nerf on the stack duration, like you said, I think if it's into the good hands, it's still valid because you can join the team fight as early as possible. But yeah, the thing about the sleep time lineup is that they already first picked the Kimi. That makes it way, way more easier for them to try to flex the CC into the goal. So that's definitely out there. And Yama Esports right now, they are the one actually picking out the Arla into the first phase, which is something we don't usually see because of course Arla is a very hot pick, but not into the first picks most of the time. So it's very confident on them to do it. Mr. Dark, I know what kicking final sweeps what you wanted here, but the thing is they have a Fredrin onto their side too. Fredrin plus Arlott combination, unlimited vengeance and deaths. That's what they really wanted to go for. So I kind of understand that. And the Juicing being completely left open is gonna be picked up by Yama Esports. But hey, look at the bans coming through from Yama Esports here. They bet out the Ballman. Wow.
Ban Balmond is, I think it does make sense to a certain extent because of,
Uh-huh.
Balmond is trading defense, because you have two frontliners. That's the side of, Yama Esports is running. They have the Arlert who's going to be in the midst of the fight. So every skill hit that Balmond is going to be dealing onto these people is going to be shredding out defense. And that's going to make
Oh.
it that much easier for the lineup of Sleep Tide to actually take down that threat. And another
Uh,
thing is that the Angela is still open and they could use it in the roam because you already have two frontliners now. And the
mhm.
Baksha is also banned out. So they do have the Angela and the options. They could still go for a Harith because a Harith is able to handle, I think, oh wait, that's the Granger against a CC.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
In the goal lane, the C is ultimately a win most of the time. But if you want to scale up, yeah, the Grandeur actually works because you want to stay in the lane and stack up your Capricios and get out of the lane when you are ultimately fed. But I don't like the goal. I mean, the marksman going against the CC into the goal lane because the CC kind of bullies everyone that C is facing against. So that's gonna be a losing lane for the side of Yama Esports right now. So they need that winning lane onto that XP, or else they're gonna be actually losing out to that first hurdle if they do not have the momentum, even in the mid lane as well. But Sleep Tight though, they are actually banning away the Harris because they wanted the Joy as well, and Lapu Lapu too. The Lapu Lapu against the Ireland is a kind of a 50-50 situation because whoever starts the fight will be having the early momentum, and that's definitely a gamble for both of the teams as well. But Yama though, I feel like they wanted to go for a little bit of a comfort into the hands of Johan right now because he is onto the Joy against a Fredrin nonetheless. But a debut pick coming through from Yama Esports, the Minotaur with the chains up Baldudu. I think it's a very, very solid pick.
A very solid pick indeed, because I was thinking about healing and I completely forgot that the rework that Mino has
Yeah,
got. Like it kind of slipped my
yeah.
mind altogether. So yeah, you have CC, you have frontline, so Mino perfectly makes sense. But I'm a little curious as to why Sleep Tide chose to go for that joy rather than, maybe any other option, because the land slot was open and I think land slot would
Mm.
fare better against an Arlot and a Fred. Because even if
Oh,
a Lance does, get interrupted mid dash, he still has other skills to escape. Well, the Joy is going to lose out her entire kit by not getting those 4 beats on point. So, I mean, that is a risky play that they're playing around Johan. But if it
mm-hmm.
works out, that Joy will completely nullify, that Zujin's advantage, that, the Zujin zoning away their Napu, the Hylos, and the CC. So I think it's like a risky play for both sides. It's completely going to be depending on how well they lock down Johan and how
Mm-hmm.
much space that, the side Viol will actually get for himself on that Zujin.
True. And the spacing is what you need when you are again when you are into execution as well. But yeah, into the mid side too, I feel like Sleep Tight might eventually have a better laning phase because Hylas together with Achilles is a very good clearance too. And then again, they have the heal advantage by Yama Esports. But yeah, it comes down to execution as well. Because if you compare into the mid lane right now, I feel like Sleep Tight have more upper hand. But yeah, the bully of execution that we have seen against the Hylas is might eventually come in handy. So that's that too. We'll see how they'll be able to perform here though, because most of the time we don't really have the uh, early momentum into the mid lane when you see a Hylos. So if they are able to create that early spacing and get the first turtle perfectly on time, whoever gets that first turtle, I think that there is way for them to have the control over the map again. And like you already said, there was a landslot available for Johan, but I don't think he plays the landslot. So the second best option would have to be the Joy. So I think it's a very risky one too. But yeah, if it is a comfort, it can still work. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's head into the land of Dawn. Sleep Tight lineup will be going against Yama Esports in this best of one series.
Yup, and with that, the game will begin. And the matchup's pretty standard. The CC will be heading into that gold lane. And I'm kind of curious to see which EXP is going to have more impact in the fights during the Turtles. Is it going to be the Arlot with his final flash, or is it going to be the Brave Fighter? Because I think the Brave Fighter is a little easier to execute in terms of giving set,
Uh
but
huh.
Arlot is gonna have higher win potential in terms of the impact
True.
it has on the arts because there's no purifies. And okay, on the bots, oh my god, Viol poked down, even a flicker baited out within the first minute of the game itself.
Damn, that's definitely something that they can capitalize on. This is what I liked about the combination coming through from Sleep lineup already. They have the early momentum into the mid side as well. Onto the top lane there, Toby. Damn, that's my son. He's gonna be able to lane against Sane, but on the other hand, it's still gonna be a safer lane, right? Because I'm not going against a CC which we don't usually like is happening to the top side. And yeah, which is definitely gonna be a dead lane. But let's see the emblems though about the what stands out for you.
Well, I think both sides are running standard emblems. You going Lapu going in for a little more damage than the usual rather than
Oh.
going for mobility. CC, I think it's pretty straightforward. Weakness finder with cooldown reduction on the spells, battle spell for Exo, because he
Mhm.
knows that there's going to be an R-Lot. He's going to be popping those flickers very frequently. So
Yeah,
every cooldown, every second of cooldown on that Kimi is going to give him loads of value. I think otherwise it's pretty much the same. Whatever you would expect from these
yeah.
players of this caliber, it's the standard emblem kit. And the turtle is coming up. Johan is lurking for his set. He's trying to get that contest. What's it gonna be, Debbie?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a starting here. Traction Pulse coming through as well. The final three, but Eve will be able to get the turtle onto the other hand. Dark with the possible able to grab the kill on Skull. Exo taken down as well. Onto the other side, it's going to be the Bruce Wire to base of it. Trying to go in for more, but not for long. Violi will be able to grab that kill, but Johan onto the other hand. Trying to go in with that Divine Base, able to grab that kill. But he's going to be trading it with his live. Triple kill for Violi into the 2 minute of this game after the turtle.
And that's actually a complete wipeout in terms of the early game. I mean, that's such a good first turtle coming in for the side of Yama Esports. They completely collapsed the lineup of Sleep Tide. Johan dived in a little too late. He went in for those two kills, but Zuzhin pulled him back into the fight, and that was all she wrote.
That was all she wanted really as well, with the bulliness, the distraction, able to go and trying to grab something of a displacement into the mid side too. But yeah, you gotta have to be careful when you are against a Jushin. You don't never know when you're gonna be controlled upon, because when there is a messy team fight, you don't really care where the stake is gonna be lying onto you, and that's where the Jushin shines a lot. 3 kills already, it's definitely gonna be important here. Never mind, it's gonna be a sun coming through. Violi popping out the Crimson Beacon as well. The Minion Fury trying to go in. The stuns coming through as well. Skull might be in trouble. That ticket really low. Might be getting taken down. Johan with the dive with the electrifying boots, able to grab the kill. Onto the other hand, there might be something happening to the mid lane side as well. Sane able to flicker out for safety. The revitalize being popped as well. Exo still healthily available into the team fights, trying to go in for more. But hey, they have to disengage. Nothing that they can do into the mid lane right now.
And it is not looking good. Yama Esports have completely fumbled that advantage they picked up for themselves. Uh,
Oh,
I
and
feel that
Toby might be in trouble. Oh my
Toby.
goodness, one bling is gonna be what it takes. Toby trying to the miss of it all. Half 1 HP. The Jackson falls. One more hit. We will be able to outplay that. It's so taken down, but Toby able to get the double kill. The young marksman onto the top lane, able to do an epic outplay.
Nah, sleep tight. They should
No.
not have collapsed like that. They lost both Exo and Hylos for no reason at all. Skull will also fall, and that's just gifting a turtle to the side of Yama Esports. You've given them 2 kills to the jungler, to the gold lane of all players, and given EV a free turtle for themselves. And that is going to be a very expensive mistake. I was just gonna say in that previous fight before this Toby highlight that we had, the second Dark missed his final slash on Exo, Yama Esports instantly started losing the fight because that
Yeah.
Kimi is an absolute menace. She's slowing down the fight so much. She's putting in so
Mhm.
much work, giving so much peel for the team. So the second they're taking out Exo, that fight's a win for them.
That's what exactly is happening into the top lane too, right? That was amazingly done, well done by Mr. Toby onto his comfort as well. I think they are able to turn the tide around with that just one play, right? Because gold ranking has shifted. It's already now into the hands of Toby and yeah, Viol also. And that means that Yama Esports are going to be into the lead. 1K is what they have. And on the other hand, Evie might be trying to go for a turn onto Skull, might be getting in trouble, but Toby able to get that quick killing spree onto the mid side, a quick rotation. He might be able to, farm out with the gold quite a lot.
And it's looking so good for Toby right now. He's got his slashes. There's the
Oh,
final appraises, Raj.
wow.
And Ice Wizard
Okay.
gets the kill, surprisingly. And this is just going to this looks like the snowball has begun for Yama Esports.
Mhm.
Like they've already started their invades. And this is the
Oh,
annoying part of dealing with a Zujin with a frontline tank. It is just so annoying to get close. You have to deal up with knockups, airborns, displacements, and at the end of it all, there's still 2 flickers. In case you commit all the way, there's 3 other players waiting for you. And there's a very, very
mhm.
fed Granger in the back line. who's
Literally.
ready to pick up some more stack on the Sky Piercer.
It's a very underrated kind of combination, right? The Jushin and the Granger, but it is very, very good out there because it kind of displays everyone with the Jushin and the Granger is still free hitting onto your faces, and that's a combination that Yama is actually for, and Johan right now able to grab a trade onto the bottom lane with the turret. The turtle will be traded out, but Toby with the poke onto the bot side though, EXO taken down very low, forced out the recall.
Yup, and the goal lead now slowly but surely shifting in favor of Yama completely. It's going to hit the 4K goal mark within 8 minutes. And that is a big warning sign for Sleep Tide because they do not have a late game. Like compared,
Yeah.
like Exo is their late game, but
Hmm.
he's not going to do anything against a Granger. He's going to get shot down from the sky before he even reaches close enough to start, stacking his passive. So Sleep Tight has to make a very bold play right now, and they need to get that kill on Toby and Viol. They need those shutdowns because if they don't, that gold snowball that these two guys are getting is going to make it impossible to win. And
That's
we're going to
right.
see an
Oh,
eventual end.
that might be a ghost pathway. Displacement's coming onto Skull as well, but it's going to be a jump build about to get into the base of it all, but the final slash and the Mina Fury able to stand down everyone at this point. Violi might be in trouble. Dark able to get a kill onto Skull, but Exo grabbing one of his own ice wizard taken down as well. Exo with the stun trying to go in for more. There might be a damage coming through as well for the side of Yama Esports, but hey, 1-1 is a trade. A rumor for both of the teams.
And I think that's a pretty decent trade that Sleep Tight can get for themselves right now because that did bring the goal down low. And losing Skull, who's already a few kills down, is a decent goal trade for them. Like
Yeah,
trade wise, I think that's a very decent trade they managed to do. And at the same time, they did ensure that Yama Esports will not commit so aggressively next time because they know that Sleep Tight, despite the goal disadvantage, is going to force the issue. And if Yama Esports was a little more lucky and Viol was not so damn good on that Zujin, they would have also taken out Toby and Viol. I mean, both of them got popped very low in that fight there.
I mean, being the squishy members and in the background as well, and the amount of card control that we have seen into that last team fight, you would have thought that they could have been taken down even, a little bit of HP on a or a very very dangerous situation, but they are still healthily available, which is very very commendable too. But now the lore is what they want for Yama Esports, and I don't think they will be able to blitz it down just yet because of course Johan is spotted into the bottom side. Holy Crystal already onto his hands, the Lord chunking down to a quarter of its HP, but they cannot really commit to it. But Yama actually being stunned away, but AV kill onto the Lord, able to get that, but Dark onto the Beast of It All, trying to get a stun coming through as well. There might be a damage to the Beast of It All. Toby with the mega kill, able to take down Belzebub, trying to go in. Exo might be in trouble. The dash, the Vengeance coming through. Dark able to stun him down. Double kill for Toby the Lord, and the kills all into the hands of Yama Esports.
And look at that. The draft, the difference in the draft is making itself known. The lack of frontline options, they're just getting melted down by the Zujin. And leaving Zujin open is a very expensive mistake that Yama, has fully capitalized on right now against Sleep Tide. They're dominating. They've taken down the mid tier 3. They're approaching the other turrets. The Lord is going to be marching down the mid, but oh, 2B!
Toby. My goodness, what is this guy made of? He's able to kill thing too. This is Hunt coming through as well, Toby, with a triple kill. That Pringles Strike coming in, Evie, able to grab Dexter into the turret between two towers inside the base. Johan onto the backlines cannot do anything but recall. Four members down for the side of Sleep Tight lineup. Just two will be up on time, but Yama Esports already getting the winning trade everywhere.
And right now that goal lead just shot up from to 7K already. And that Lord is wait, did we see the Lord crashing or no? I don't know. I can't remember if the Lord has crashed. I think it has.
It has to be, right? They
Yeah,
died
it has
defending
to
that
be.
thing. Mm-hmm.
I
It's
think
not an
I
gold
think
lord, right?
Sleep Tide kind of focused on defending the Lord, but oh yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was it. The Lord did crash down the mid with the Holy Shield,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
dude, Toby is just unkillable right now. This man has, I think, if I'm not wrong, he's at complete full stacks right now.
He has
He
to
must
be.
be at full stacks. He's at 60 to 80 stacks for sure. I don't see any other way he's being able to absolutely melt Beelzebub off the game right now. There's another
Mm-hmm.
Lord popping up in under a half minute, and the only thing the side of Sleep Tide can do right now is to hold on to their turrets. But I don't think that's going to be possible, considering their lane clear is completely dependent on getting close to those minions. And each time you're getting close, you're getting punished by EV on that Fred, Ice Wizard with the Minnow and Fury, Dark on the final slash, and worst of all, Viol.
Uh-huh. The guy, he's everywhere, man, and he's always out there displacing members here and there like it's his daily job. But the fact that all the gold leads that Yama has onto their hands is mostly into the hands of Toby. He's the main damage dealer that they have right now, and he is very, very healthy, and he's very fat too. And the fact that Johan hasn't been able to go into the backlines trying to grab onto him because of the amount of frontliners that Yama Esports have, this is a well lined up combination that they have right now with the heroes that they are picking away. So the Lord is not going to be contested here because there's no way Zohan will be able to pass through these walls that Yama Esports have.
Yup, and I don't see, that Lord has also been contested, taken down very quickly by Yama Esports. It's marching down the
Wait,
mid side. The only good thing,
Johan? Wow.
Johan
Oh,
makes it out alive, beats out a lot of skills.
but Skull, he might be next taken down legendary for Toby. Able to grab the kill just for a thread. But hey, that was actually a good escape being made by Johan right now, but he wasted out a lot of resources. The Lord will be into the mid side here. Violi able to zone them away with the lantern fin, not trying to get them anywhere near, but the damage coming through from Toby. Stand bells above, able to flicker away, but Toby will be able to kill out the Johan right now. He might try to go for more Violi, able to stand there without taking any damage as the base is completely wide open. Stun will not be connecting by Dark yet again. 5 members still available for the side of Yama Esports. They want to propose their way in. Their glorious pulse wave will be coming together as well. The final stars will not be connecting us to anyone right now. Violi is the backline trying to do a John coming through as well, but Sleep Tide able to defend the Lord in a perfect distributing manner.
And I think that was a really decent defense because you were going to lose those turrets anyway. So by avoiding much damage to their ages, Sleepnet actually held on pretty well. They only lost Skull in that defense, if I'm not wrong. It was only
Yes.
Skull and Johan. So I think that is a decent defense coming. Oh, Exo and Skull trying to put on
Wow.
something, but that is a no-show because Eevee is able to walk out so safe. And looking at the items right now, Eevee completely itemizing for Kimi so far, picked up the Radiant and Cursed. He's finally
Wow.
going in for the anti-cuirass to deal with CC and Lapu. So at this point, they have kind of completely countered, all these players have completely countered out what Sleep Tide has to offer.
Mhm.
And Toby over there, complete damage build over there. No, he doesn't even want the Athena. And I think that speaks a
No.
lot about his confidence in his front line. He knows Dark is there to bail him out. He
Mhm.
knows Ice Wizard has the heals. And okay, on the top side, I
I
feel
think.
like Yama Esports is getting a little impatient because they could
Yeah.
hold on for a freeze and get the Lord. And that is a very risky game they're trying to play because Eevee has lost a lot of HP over there. Dangerous situation.
Okay, that's gonna be a thorn. Gore's pathway will be used. Belzebub trying to go in. Back line, there's gonna be a jump coming through as well. The stun. Shane able to get a kill on to Wizard. Toby taking very low. He has to flicker away. Belzebub will be next on the line. Double kill for Toby onto the Granger tree. Member still available for the side of Sleep Tide. For Yama Esports. Dog does not have the final stats. Yeah, but Shane will be removed yet again. Don't try to go to the back line. Might be trying to be something else getting targeted upon. Dog will be taken down by him, but that's gonna be another double kill for Mr. Toby onto the Granger. He's trying to go for more, but Exo, the sole survivor, he cannot really do anything. He'll be taken down yet again by Toby, as well as the base. Yama Esports with a clean wipe. taking down Sleep Tight lineup in this best of one series.
And it looked like Sleep Tight might finally get that comeback when Johan got that kill on to
Yeah.
Dark. He nearly got Toby down, but nearly is not enough because at the end of the day, Yama prevailed, and it has been a completely satisfactory win. There's no contest at all that came in from Sleep Tight from the first turtle itself to the end. Yama had complete control over the map, over their objectives, and over those team fights. So, with that being said, it has been that is game one of this game, of this wildcard day one. Yama Esports are to a very great start, and Sleep Tight has to think fast about what to do in their upcoming games.
Definitely. That was a clean game. And I mean, it was actually not that much clean into the early phases because I have seen Yama were losing out. And you also highlighted that into the mid side, where they were actually the one losing out the games. But then they went to the top lane trying to get a kill onto the gold laner, Toby, and he was able to outplay with the flicker, getting 2 kills on that too. And that was where the tide changed for Yama. They were able to grab those turtles, they were able to get the priority, the pressure onto the map, and I think they found ways, right? They found ways to have that have EXO being nulled. He did not, he had the damages, but then when the goal was too much onto the hands of Yama Esports, he couldn't deal that amount of damage that we wanted, right? Because at that point of the time, when the goalie was too much for Yama, they already had the radiant armor.
Yup, that radiant armor, the cursed helmet, all of that, they just kind of soaked up all the damage because Kimmy took too long to scale, and that spelled the end of the run for Sleep Tide after that first
Yeah.
turtle. I feel that one wipeout in that turtle kind of, it stopped any tempo they could have because
Mhm.
that's how the meta is right now.
That's
Either your two fighters are gonna work or their two fighters are gonna work. You did nearly get that kill on Toby. If they got that kill on Toby, Sleeptide would be back in the match for sure.
that.
They would have definitely been back, but then there was some miscommunication over there, and that just gave Toby all the stacks he needed to snowball. And there he is, 15-1-7 with almost 16k gold. Toby, my god, he's been involved in I think every single fight of the match almost. Him
Yeah.
and Fred, EV, unkillable, unassailable. Same with Viol. The only ones falling have been Dark and Ice Wizard,
Mhm.
doing their job for their
We
team.
get
On the
it.
other end, Skull has had quite a forgettable game with the 8 deaths over there, not really able
Uh,
to capitalize for his team. Shane on the gold lane CC, you could lane bully, but if your lane first, your opponent has been fed 8 kills at the very start, there's not much you can
yeah.
do as a CC. So, yeah, I think the gambit paid off. The Zuzhan versus Johan on that Joy, Viol has
Mhm.
prevailed. And we see that in the stats right now.
You could see here too. And I feel like, most of the time when you see the gameplay coming through from Sleep Title, also, I think Johan was the one who signed a lot. He was actually ahead onto the level rankings, even though they were behind. But the thing is, the front lines that Yama Esports have made it impossible for him to dive to. And yeah, that was actually the main problem here. He could not have the self peel that he needs the team to do. And that kind of made him struggle just a little bit into this game too. And maybe, they might be able to play for Johan the next time around when he's on a damage dealer. But I don't complain. I'm not complaining because, oh my goodness, if we see the MVP, man, I think it has to be the Granger, no doubt. I mean, or am I
Granger has to
biased?
be
I
the
don't know.
MVP. No, I mean, like, if we talk about pure highlight potential, Granger, but if we talk about the amount of crowd control and pressure that was put onto the map, I think that has to go to Fredrin, EV on that Fred, because that
Mm.
man was just so annoying to deal with. He got every objective because the first three turtles were contested, the first two, and
Oh,
his
yeah.
retry was perfect. He got the appraiser's
Mm.
wrath. He absolutely knocked out Kimmy and zoned him away from the fights. Apart from that, first he got poked down very low in the fight. I think apart from that moment, Evie and
I think Toby, those guys have been absolutely perfect, and the KDA does show for it. Dart did his job. Like, that's the thing with XP Lane. Either you get only highlight plays, or you kind of make sure
Oh,
you get the stars of your team to shine. And he's done his job over there.
he's done his job. Absolutely amazing at that too. And yeah, I like the fact that you highlighted on security onto this turtle most of the time, because I think that is also the one that helped them have that much of a goal onto their side. Yeah, that's actually one thing that you have to focus on, and they have really come together fighting on a very well versed team fight, and that's absolutely what you have to do, Yama Esports. I think I see the potential of them having a good team fight onto their hands in this team fighty composition of a meta that we have right now. I think they have top the skills, but we'll never know, because they also gonna be playing with four other, five other, six other, seven other teams into this wildcard stages. So this is the first game only, and Sleep Tight do still have a chance. But before we go into the next match, ladies and gentlemen, let us take a short break. We'll be coming back for another best of one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again. Second round of the best of one series that we have seen so far for today. The World stages are set in yet again. We're going to be having two other teams who's going to be competing for their time, for their chance into the main stages. And we have Eternal Torment. They will be going against Yellowstone, and I feel like you already know the names as well. They have been the thought for so long. Eternal Torments, they are everywhere, and Yellowstone surprisingly showing us that they'll be able to be having a spot here as well. So I'm gonna be here together again with Balduru, and we'll be bringing you the voices of the game. I kind of love saying that, but do you know the teams Balduru? I mean personally.
Well, Yellowstone, the thing is, the major issue that I have, the only issue I have with the pro scene in MOBA 5v5 India is that teams keep switching their names, man. I mean, I think that is the biggest issue I have with them. Eternal Torment, I have casted a few games, but the only issue is they keep switching up their IGNs every couple days. So the second I see them in my list again, or I see them in the draft layout, I remember, oh yeah, wait, it's these guys. I know these guys. I've casted for them like twice now, 5 times now. So I think that's my only complaint with the pro scene. But it is the wildcard stage, viewers, and like we mentioned, it's gonna have 5 elite teams, and along with the 3 teams who have advanced from the open qualifiers, these 8 teams will then qualify. Fight for those qualification slots. There are only 4 qualification slots, by the way, for the to advance to the Swiss stage. And from the Swiss is where you have a round robin which heads to the LAN. So each team is gonna be trying their best to secure these 2 points. We've already had a game 1 where Yama Esports did get 1 win against Sleep Tight. So now it's gonna be ETR and Yellowstone's turn to find out who's the better matchup against each other.
Yep, better matchup against each other is what. Because into the first match also sleep tight, and yeah, my first day through us what Epic Showdown is gonna be looking like. And oh wait, this is Mythic Showdown, so yeah, what Mythic Showdown is gonna be looking like. So we have seen what they can do too, and this time around I'm really excited too because I feel like they have both been in this scene for a long while. Like you already said, it's just a change onto the squad names most of the time because the players can be very similar. So we'll see what they can do here because both of the teams are completely very ready. The second series, it's a do or die situation. I mean, do or die as in the fact that you will be able to have an advantage if you get the win, because out of 8 teams, like Baldudu said, 4 teams will be the one qualifying, and that's not a big number. You gotta fight for your spot, and best of one is a very risky series because in comparison to other series, we kind of don't have the benefits to read your opponent. No, you're gonna go in rolly, and that's where the beauty of the best of one lies. And yeah, we'll see how perform here because this time around I'm actually manifesting another marksman.
Okay, Debbie has predicted her. It's going to be a marksman pick. So, do you think it's going to be a conventional marksman, or are we going to be seeing something like the Harith?
Hmm. And I hate that Harry is in a tank meta, but I love a Granger and a Nathan. I think those are the only marksmen that might work. Or maybe a Lunox Skull lane, I will never know. I don't know.
Hmm. Yep. So, that's the whole point. Like we've said that there are going to be only 4 teams making it through, and with a best of one, you can't guarantee, your chances of victory. It's going to be completely based on that one particular game's draft because we have some teams that are just so good in best of ones, but they struggle in series because either their draft gets exposed, their hero pool gets denied, they get outdrafted in subsequent games. But
Mm-hmm.
again, there are also teams which adapt better. Like we saw, there's teams like EVT that get better over time. There's teams like Zohan that we've seen every time it's a best of 7. Usually, Zohan is the one who edges out the victor when it goes to best of sevens because they get better over time. So with the BO1s, it's like you're kind of you're trying to eliminate teams which are not being able to adapt on the fly. So your draft is gonna play such a big role in how well your team is going to perform. You could have some of the best players, but if your draft is not up to the mark, you're going to end up like how Sleep Tight put in. The performance that Sleep Tight put in. You had good plays coming in from Johan and Skull, but the draft is not going to let you be that.
Exactly. And talking about the draft, I think we are going to be heading to the drafting phase as well. Let's see what the teams are going to be onto the table here yet again. Eternal Torment will be going against Yellowstone. I don't know. I think it's going to be quite a similar band here. Coming through from the blue side, Kalea and Basya gone. The Yuzhong, which is one of my favorite heroes for the current meta, has to be removed, as well as the Hilda and the CC. Well, the CC did not have a good win into the previous game, but this time around, it's a well-respected hero that they have to ban away.
Yep, and with that, the first set of the draft has begun, and Yellowstone with a very, very aggressive picks coming in. They saw the lands and no hesitation, they go for that Phoveus. And the best part is they've kind of taken out both the heroes Phoveus struggles against, the CC and the Yuzong. But to be honest, Phoveus does do well against Yuzong in the lane, because every skill of Yuzong apart from his first one is gonna give Phoveus dashes on the passive. They act as blink skills. His Dragon Tail has 2 stages of dashes. The one where he actually jumps and drops the tail and then he moves forward. So that's 2 phases. So he does well in the lane against Phoveus. Phoveus does great against him. Looking at the other bans, it's pretty much what we're always being seeing. The Kalia, the Grok are just not finding some time in the land of Dawn right now. They're just performing too good. Their win rates are too high to leave any sane team is not going to leave them open unless they're very, very confident with their draft. So yep, Puni has picked up the land slot for himself, and I'm curious to see what are they gonna how are they gonna respond to that Phoveus pick. Like, what are they gonna take?
Phoveus, Lapu Lapu. Okay, they won against the Phoveus, but then again, the Lapu Lapu and the Phoveus kind of comes down to the team fight most of the time, so we'll never tell what they can do into the lane as well. But you know what, Yellowstone picking up the Gimme as early means that they might want to go for a little bit of a flex into the gold lane here, but they're not exactly flexing the Phoveus, so the Phoveus has to go into the XP lane, or else it will be very, very bad. But for the sign of Eternal Torment, they pick out the Gatot against the Kimi. Not really bad and not really good, not really the best either. So maybe they're kind of stopping Yellowstone to go for the Yishun, right? Because if they go for the Yishun together with the Kimi, it could have been a double marksman. I don't know. Still can be a flex. So what is gonna be good here for Yellowstone though? Zushin?
Yep.
Against
Zujin is open, and I'm kind of curious why is she not picked up. Well, Yellowstone can't take it anymore because they have exposed their mage pick, and it is kind of risky taking Kimi in the first pick because you know for a fact that they're going to be fighter picks coming in. So for the second phase of those bans, the second Yellowstone locks its next pick, it's going to be guaranteed for them to actually just ban out as many XP lanes as possible. They're going to probably take out the Uranus. They could probably take out the Thamos, because Thamos would work great right now against the lineup that ET is running. In fact, against both sides, Thamos is going to work perfectly fine.
Thamos, which lane though? Thamos for XP? Because I think Yellowstone already have the XP, right? So if they go at Thamos Gold, it could still
Thamos
work.
works in the
It will
gold.
be a
He
huge.
could work in the gold. I mean, like, he could. Only if they don't take a marksman like Granger. Otherwise, he's going to just get locked down.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's gonna have to be something else entirely here. Should they prioritize onto the room here, or because it's broken while and all, there's gonna be a lot of ways to rotate. So maybe they can use a fast-moving hero onto the room too for Yellowstone. But it's still, I mean, still gonna be hard, man. Wait, what is Yellowstone? Yellowstone look like
Yeah,
peak.
yeah. I mean, like the countdown. I was gonna say like they only have 10 seconds to decide, but it's been 10 seconds for a while. You know. So what exactly is happening in the background? I guess that they might have we might have gone into a pause, or it just might be some kind of bug. But that's the best part. We can let the viewers and us, we can keep speculating wildly as to how this draft is gonna go. Hmm.
All I'm seeing is peak in Yellowstone because guys in level there. The key is always warrior. All of them. But hey, I think they are trying to, reface just a little bit. But the picks are actually awesome though, right? Because I love chunky Fernandez for Eternal Torment already and a diving for them too with the Lancelot. Now the Kimi is definitely gonna be double thinking on whether to go free into the mid lane or not. But we'll have to see because the Forest is a solid option to go against the Lancelot as well. Now that they have a good lane into their hands too. But yeah, I think third pick would. Now that they have made an XP, there's no flex at all for Yellowstone. What could be good here? That's what I was actually thinking. If they wanna go wrong very early on against the Goblet, what is good? Maybe it could be a high loss. No, never know.
Hmm. Actually, I would want to probably see a Beleric in the roam against what these guys are running, because he would be so good in like allowing them to get the bait in, but
Mhm.
when he would also kind of deny some options, like he would prevent them from going in like too aggressive with the Uranus pick, because Uranus is then going to have to deal with a lot of drama. But again, Beleric is just hard to pull off. Like if it works really well. Otherwise, it's just not a good time for anyone there. Hmm. I mean, like the whole point is that usually we get the third pick and then we can kind of figure out where the draft is going. But the draft is still kind of stuck over here. So we kind of we're not sure what exactly is going to happen. But, guys, Debbie has still predicted what she said. She wants to see the Granger. And if the Granger pops up, she owes me money. So there's that.
Oh no, because I mean I was predicting man. It can be either way, The kid, so it's already there. It's already out
No,
there,
no,
man.
no.
I mean, it was actually amazing that they are able to flex the Kimi very early on because Hobbits are amazing on Kimi too. And, it's gonna be something. I feel like it can be a rule, but what is gonna be good here? I'll never know because draft is gonna be posting out just a little bit. What do you expect?
Yup.
What do you expect? Hylos is running
Well,
now.
Hylos is there, but I don't think they're gonna ban the Hylos out. To be honest, since they have a Phobius, and Phobius takes time to rotate, he's not as fast as the Lapu, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it might sound very controversial, but I think it might work. The chip, the
Chip
chip
is
with
good
Ruby in the
against.
gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, chip on the side of Yellowstone. Chip with Ruby in the gold lane, because there's a high chance the Ruby is not going to be banned in the second phase, because they might be expecting a marksman. And if Chip has his portals, he can drop his ult anytime. These guys can walk in, dish out damage, and walk out. At the same time, he can also use it as a defense. Like he could just randomly just ult some random person for no reason. And in case his gold lane or EXP lane is being sieged a little too much, their players can just walk out.
Mm. I think it can
So
be a very underrated one. Yeah, it might actually work out too. And the fact that Kaizen for peak, I think I've seen him play the Ruby into the gold too. That could be a very very big and massive combination as well.